The founder of Litecoin said you would have been better off just buying and holding onto Bitcoin, but more on that in a second. Welcome to Cryptocurrents, the weekly podcast of people working in crypto and blockchain talking about everything you need to know about crypto, blockchain, and then probably a bunch of AI today. I'm your host, Vince, and today I'm joined by two incredibly smart people, Yell from the Mu team,
Hello.
and Mark is also from the Mu team.
What's up?
So we'll talk about this Litecoin stuff in a second, but I just kind of want to jump right in because I'm excited to have both of you here because you both are big AI guys, which I love. And so I'm going to ask you a bunch of smart people questions. But let's start by framing this with Coinbase's recent announcement of layoff. They're laying off 14% of their employees, which is about 700 people, in order to streamline and improve their flow, which of course is AI. And it's interesting. I'll start us off with this because I literally changed my opinion on this morning. So going in, I was like, yeah, this is a classic, like cutting these jobs for AI. And then specifically with this one, they cut a lot of their managers and are replacing them with like people coaches, which I'm like, that's going to be problematic. And I was like, okay, streamlining with AI, we've seen Robinhood do a lot of that. We've seen a lot of these tech companies do that. But then I saw this amazing quote this morning that was like, if your company is laying off people because you're now using an AI tool, your company lacks vision and creativity and ideas. And I was really struck by that because I'm like, you're right. If I have like these positions that are being freed up by AI, if people are becoming more efficient with AI, what new ideas can those employees have? What new thing could they be working on? How else can we redeploy those talents of those people to like further drive that company? I mean, I just thought that was an interesting take, but yeah, I'll throw it to you. Talk to me about AI at Coinbase and causing all these layoffs.
Yeah, I kind of want to tag on to what you said, actually. I see AI as more of like a companion, not a replacement. There's a reason why, I don't know if you've seen it recently, but IBM and I think Klarna or something rehired a bunch of their people after cutting because of AI, right? And I'm assuming the reason is because like you can't fully easily replace platform knowledge. That's something like that stays with the employees. And so replacing them willy-nilly is kind of like crazy. And the other thing is like doing this is a different case, right? Because they're taking out management, not entry-level employees that like what people have been seeing in the past like few months. I do agree with like it does run the cost of like now you're doing coaching instead of actual management, but like that was, I feel like one of the initial things with AI was that to automate a bunch of management things, not like replacing engineers, you know? But that's how I see it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Marcus, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Same thing. Like, it should be more used as a tool. And if like, these workers aren't like specialized in AI or whatever, they could be doing something else rather than, being replaced completely. Like,
for sure.
Like to go on with the platform knowledge, like you said, Yale, like the AI in itself can create bugs. And if you don't, have an expertise in like that, then it's just going to have so many bugs in your code and it's just going to be spaghetti code basically.
Yeah. I mean, talk to me more about the tools like in spaghetti code, because obviously I'm not a tech guy and you both very much are. What can you kind of explain to me what that's like if you just get like this big old plate of spaghetti code? Like what can you just kind of read me in on what it's like to get that?
There's kind of, this is why I was reading an article on how to set up Claude code yesterday. And one of the things that article specifically said was like, oh, give Claude access to GitHub PR pushes and databases. And I'm like, that's a crash. That's a train wreck. Like you're looking at a train wreck happening because it's like right now AI still hallucinates. And if one of the solution that your Claude code thinks is, oh, let's just blow up the database. And now you've given it full access, right? It's like things like that we might not, that might be like a good idea in essence, but you don't think about the consequences later on. Like you've seen a lot of I don't know how serious they are, but I've seen a lot of like security code vibe coded auth codes where it's like, oh, we sent you this code, type to your number. Like it just shows the code above the input and it's like, bro, what was even I'll just copy this one, I don't even need to open my phone. It's like stuff like that, you know? Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of it still hallucinates often, so I still
Yeah.
believe that you need people to still review it, I think.
Yeah. What about you, Marcos? When it just spits out some garbage code, like how bad is it? How bad are we talking? Like when I get copy written by an AI, I know immediately, right? It's very clear. It's like got a
Mhm.
specific cadence and it's not great. But can you tell when it like spits out something? You're like, oh, this is absolute trash.
Usually, like you'll see something that just doesn't look right, and then you like read through, and you're like, no, this is not what I asked for at all. And then, especially if you're running it, and then you just see like a whole bunch of errors just popping up, like no. That's why I
Yeah.
prefer to like only let it maybe like vibe code a little bit of it, but then I'd rather write everything myself. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
makes more sense.
And so, like, from your perspective, both of you, like, Yell already mentioned, like, a bunch of these companies hiring back people. Would, if hypothetically you guys are cut for an AI and then your company came back and said, hey, sorry, we messed up, would you come back? Would you go back?
Depends
Yeah.
on the situation.
Yeah.
Like if
I
I'm hurting for a job, yeah.
True.
What else do I
Okay,
have?
that's fair. But I
But
mean,
if I'm already like I got hired, whatever, there's a like 40% chance of
okay.
maybe coming back.
Interesting, because I for one, I'd be like, no, you're just gonna wait till the next Opus 4.7 or whatever, and then I'm gone again. Like, what?
Yeah, because I think it's at least in I would like to give whoever like benefit of the doubt, right? That like oh you rehiring must have been like I don't know like a lesson learned. Hopefully that you're like
Yeah,
you can't just
Yeah.
cut people like that.
yeah. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just hung up on that quote this morning that I encountered because I really have latched onto that because I'm like, oh yeah, if I look at the things I'm using AI to free up my time for, I'm like, I still have more things to fill my time. I'm not just like, well, I'm done. And I hope that we see more and more companies kind of adopt that. Okay, you've used AI to
Yeah,
like cut your workload in half. What's something else cool you could be working on?
yeah. Because that was a thing that I don't know if you guys seen it. Like recent computer science graduates aren't getting the jobs that they usually get because of again like AI replacing entry level jobs. And I feel like
Yeah,
you're not building because eventually the senior ones are gonna retire. And then what
yeah,
happens to the next batch, right? Like you're just hoping that AI is just gonna be so good at that point that you won't need anyone. And it's like you know, not to be that guy too. There's that thing of like, what happens when it replaces everyone? Who's
right.
gonna buy your thing? It's like,
This is AI managing AI.
yeah, it's
I
like,
mean,
uh,
I will always say, and I say this on the show frequently, that creativity is the like if you can just have ideas, like you're golden. Like AI will never just have ideas, and when it tries to have ideas, the ideas are terrible. So I'm a firm believer that as long as you have that spark of humanity, you will
mhm,
always have a job, a purpose. But speaking of purpose, another company that is like going into AI is PayPal. You know, they've declared that they're becoming a technology company again, and when I saw this article, I was like, oh yeah, PayPal. I haven't thought about them in a long time.
Yeah.
And Marcus, you're a lot younger than I am. What was the last time you thought about PayPal? Yeah, so
dang,
It's like I had an eBay account that I used to sell
mhm,
stuff from, and I used to use PayPal all the time, but that was like 5 years ago or 7 years ago. I don't even know.
and so now you're a Venmo guy, I assume, right?
No,
You
I'm a
don't even
Zelle
use
guy.
Venmo. Wow.
I'm
No,
I'm all in on Zelle.
all in on Zelle, man. No Venmoing the girls for brunch on Sunday, huh?
mhm.
We just Zelle it.
Zelle and cash, just Zelle and cash.
Zelle and
Yeah.
cash or crypto.
Yeah,
Uh,
or crypto.
yeah, for sure. I'm fascinated by Zelle. Yell, do you use Zelle?
Yeah, I
Shit. Okay.
went through the ringer. It started off with Venmo. I don't know if you guys were around 2016 or you guys are robots, but 2016 party scene. It was a lot of Venmoing each other, and then
Yeah.
For sure.
came I think it was Cash App or Square Cash or whatever Cash App, and then Cash
Yeah.
App into Zelle. Now it's just Zelle now. But
Fascinating.
speaking of PayPal, I don't know about you two, but I've been using it quite a lot.
Really?
Really?
Just like yeah,
Say
on a date.
more.
There's a lot of it's just a lot easier than typing my card because I have cards saved in there. So there's a lot of checkout
Ah.
Oh.
processes that's just like check out with PayPal and you just like click, click, click. It's like that. But
Yeah.
with this headline though, I don't know if you guys remember, it reminded me of Long Island black tea or iced tea or something, where the company that like makes pre-made alcohol just like called themselves, I think it's like Long Blockchain Technologies or something, to
I
capitalize
think I've
on
heard
what
of
was
it.
going on at the time,
Yeah.
and their stock market shot up like 500% or something.
Yeah.
And the
So,
other, um, a more recent one is also Allbirds
oh
transitioning
yeah, the
into
Allbirds of the
AI. It's like, bro,
480% crazy.
your shoes, like you're gonna do it. You're gonna make AI build your shoes. What's going on? It's like,
So you're
well,
thinking, do you think that this is just PayPal's like ploy? It like gets stock price up?
it might be because
It
like
might be.
there are. I feel like they're already in a stable place of like, again, there's people like me or people like Marcus 5 years before who like uses it for selling and buying stuff on eBay, right?
Yeah.
That's already a niche that they were filling in, where
Yep.
like lazy people who can just click through buying. But like, I don't know. I'm kind of excited on what they're gonna do with. I'm hoping they're not just capitalizing on the hype, but you know,
Yeah.
it's hard to say right now. But I
What
want to
about
see
you,
what they build
Marcus?
with what they're saying.
Yeah. What do you think, Marcus? Is this just a number go up, or do you think they're actually going to be putting in the work and like actually trying to become a quote unquote technology company again?
It's kind of hard to say. I think it's kind of like a number go up thing for now
Okay.
because like when they added like crypto as well and their own stable coin as well too. I don't know. I feel like those are just like trying to get in on the game and
Hmm.
make stocks go up. But we'll see.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Quick,
we'll
quick
see.
poll for you gentlemen. Who owns Venmo?
PayPal, right?
Yeah.
PayPal, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I just whenever PayPal comes up, I always like to like vibe check everyone because I feel like that acquisition was very under the radar because PayPal was
Yeah,
like,
it was.
Yeah.
we want to buy access to these young brunch goers, but we're struggling to be innovative and new. So they just
Yeah,
threw
I was
money
so
at
surprised when
Venmo.
I got the email where they're like, "Oh, we finally integrated Venmo." I'm like, just now? Like, I think it was like last year, sometime last year, or like 2 years ago, maybe. I was like, "You guys had this thing for a while," and
Yeah.
it's finally you can like cross into the other one or whatever. But yeah,
I'm hopeful. I at its core, like PayPal was the first like peer-to-peer payment thing that I ever used. I remember when they
hmm
first launched, it was like if you put $10 in, we'll give you another $10, and then if you invite someone, we'll give you both $10. And I was just like, oh, neat. Here's $30. Like I'll take it.
yeah,
And it was just so cool. And they were the front runner, and now they've kind of lost that momentum. So part of me hopes that they're like legit in this because I think Zelle, like I guess I use Zelle through Chase, and that looks like horrible dog shit. Like
No,
I
yeah,
want
it
a
is.
pretty
It is
PayPal app
terrible.
again. Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, I will admit the Zelle UI is awful and it's really hard to use. Yeah, it just goes directly to the bank, and there's no fees, so
yeah,
it's the only reason why I use it.
yeah.
yeah.
No, for sure. All right, so let's also talk some more smart people stuff related to AI. You know, according to all the reports we're seeing, more crypto hacks happened in April than any month in crypto history. And a lot of people are speculating that's because of AI. What are your guys' thoughts? Like, is this kind of like the AI powered hack, or is it more? Is it a broader like market problem for crypto? What are your guys' thoughts?
I think it's 100% AI.
You think it's
After the
100% AI?
After Claude Code got
Yeah.
leaked, and I
hmm
think just last month in April, some guy rebuilt um like the open mythos, he called it,
Hmm.
the Claude Mythos repo. So that happened in April. So it could be people just using that because they're just removing the guardrails and just going crazy with
Yeah,
vibe coding.
I think it is. Yeah, it's largely related to that. Like finding vulnerabilities is just so easy now because of it.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, so you run
So,
slash security after you save on your code.
so yeah, I was gonna say, like, okay, if this is AI breaking these things, why don't we see AI being used defensively to stop that? Am
It
I just dumb, or
kind
am
of is too.
I?
Um, so
Yeah.
it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier, right? Like
Mhm.
people using it to code, so now people are also using it to hack, and now people are also using it to defend. It's kind of just like agents on agents on agents. It's like
Hmm.
whoever
Yeah.
uses it better kind of wins in a sense. Like the better
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like if you're a company trying to protect yourself, you have to defend against 100 people, whereas like one hacker is just focused on one thing, and it's like, okay, I
Yeah.
just have to get in once.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I do think this also brings up like a broader crypto problem, right? We've seen this with, the kelp hack. What was that last week, two
Hmm.
weeks ago, and the death of
Yeah.
DeFi. Um, is are all of these hacks? Of course, they're negative for crypto across the board. But
Hmm.
is there a world where we recover from this stronger than ever, like cryptographically, and like talking about the security of the blockchain, or is that just a hopium that I'm smoking?
I think it would I feel like it's a similar sense to when um the 2000 crash was gonna happen. I don't
Hmm.
know if you remember that. It was specifically a programming issue where I think
You're
it's
talking
like
about
an overflow
Y2K.
of the dates. Yeah. That
So
one.
Marcus, in the
Mm.
year 1999, this is like they were
I was 4 years
afraid.
old.
Were you really 4 years old, yo?
Yes.
Oh, uh, I was
But
I think
anyway,
I
14.
was 4 as well.
But
what
yeah,
else?
so the gist of it
Yeah.
is real quick. They built computers and didn't realize the rollover to the year 2000 would then break a lot of these OSs.
Mm.
Um, and
Mm.
inappropriately, there's like this joke that's like, oh, and then Y2K happened and nothing happened. That's not true. Billions of dollars were spent in updating all of the software across the world to make sure this didn't absolutely shit the bed. So it's like a weird thing. But yeah, I cut you off. Continue with your thought about
Yeah,
Y2K.
no worries. Yeah, so essentially what I was saying is in a similar sense, we're realizing that AI can do certain things. Now we can figure out a better way to counter it, or like, it's raising, at least like raising cybersecurity awareness that we're like, do we need to be better at X, Y, and Z?
Mhm.
And we can utilize again these tools to do those, right? Like, you know, could also like force our security in blockchain in general to be better faster because of how often we're getting hacked, or like our
Mhm.
industry is getting hacked. So at
Yeah.
least that's my hope.
Yeah. What about you, Marcus? Are you hopeful like Yale, or are you negative Nancy like me? We're all screwed. We're gonna die.
No, I'm hopeful. I believe that like like there's definitely gonna be some vulnerabilities probably in the future, but I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be patched out pretty fast. A lot of the blockchain developers seem to be really on, like trying to like what is it? Make their blockchains like quantum resistant as well,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
stuff like that. Like they're pretty on it, I think. So I'm
That is
hopeful.
the buzz catchphrase I hear a lot about quantum resistance. And then I
Yeah.
guess I kind of have a quick gut check on you guys. We talk about the crypto hacks going on right now and the death of DeFi. I don't hear about this in my normal life. And in
Hmm.
previous like hack fests of like crypto having problems, I feel like anyone that knew that I was in crypto would bring that up. But I feel like we're kind of in a little bit of an echo chamber for these hacks right now. Just a quick gut check. Like, is that true for you guys too? Or
Yeah, I mean it's fairly. I'm gonna be honest with you. The people I'm surrounded with is not very tech safe, so they don't hear these things in general. They're just
yeah.
like, unless it's like a huge bank involved. The last thing they heard was FTX, and that was like
Okay.
3 or 4 years ago already or something. So you know,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you,
Literally the
Marcus?
same.
Same.
Literally the same as Yo. Yeah. Like nobody. I'm like the tech guy for everybody in my friend group and my family.
hmm
Like,
Gotcha. Okay, that was fair. I just wanted to gut check you, and since I don't get to chat to you guys week over week like I do with everyone else at this company.
yeah.
And I do love our chit chats. But let's move on, shall we? To SoFi finally launching their stablecoin on Solana. Thoughts on this, Marcus? My
you already
face
know how
tells
I
you a
feel
lot about
about
my
Solana.
thoughts.
You already know how I feel about Solana, the
Yeah,
meme
but not
killer,
all our
right?
listeners do. Lay it on us. Get on your soapbox.
well, if Solana doesn't like crash every 2 minutes, but I mean, they already have it on the Ethereum blockchain, right? The SoFi USD. So,
Mhm.
I mean, I guess this is technically this the next step to make it like, probably a little bit faster. But like, since they're a bank, they should just get rid of the automated clearinghouse and just put the whole thing on the blockchain so it's just faster, get your deposits and everything like that.
Yeah.
This is my opinion.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Solana and SoFi?
I think similarly to Marcus, again, Solana has had that reputation of reliability issues, right? Like, you know, so unless the thing is like, again, Ethereum can compete speed-wise, right? That was the whole thing with Solana, and
Yeah.
the whole thing with replacing the banking with blockchain was that like none of the most popular blockchains can compete with the volume of transactions. I feel like this may be a way to, circumvent that because it's like it can almost compete with how fast they go. So we'll see
Okay.
again if it's
Mhm.
reliability wise, if it
Right.
doesn't crash, good. But yeah,
So
it's
then
hard to say.
if we zoom out a little bit, like let's talk about SoFi specifically. What are your guys' thoughts on SoFi besides being Angelinos and thinking of SoFi Stadium? Like, what are your opinions on
Um,
SoFi, the company, in like the broader fintech neobank scene? Because I bag on them quite a bit. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, they were literally them and Ally were like the first to the neobanks.
mhm.
And then they just got their lunch eaten by Robinhood and, Public and Coinbase and like all these other platforms. So this kind of just feels to me like what's a quick way to grab a headline that doesn't really make us do a lot of like innovation and tech stuff. But maybe I'm just looking to find faults with everything they do. But what are your guys' opinions on SoFi?
I don't really have strong opinions on that,
Yeah.
if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So they're not really even in your awareness.
No.
Okay.
Same. Yeah. Like the only thing I know is just the SoFi Stadium, and then they charge like an arm and a leg for parking there. So I think that's where they're
Fascinating.
getting their money.
Yeah, a lot of hot dogs. So then I guess follow-up question, if I were to say who are like the top two like fintech companies that are in your zeitgeist, like who would you say?
Top two?
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah, top one, top two.
I'd say Robinhood and
Like,
Klarna.
Klarna. Okay, that's a good one.
Mainly because like it's everywhere, both
Yeah.
of them.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Klarna would be
What
one.
about you, Marcus?
Well, Klarna for sure, because it's like the paying for. Everybody's doing paying for nowadays.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
still have yet to try a pan 4. I feel like it's a trap.
Yeah.
It can be.
It can be. So
Make sure
you've
you pay on
used it
time.
and you've been burned by it, is what I'm hearing.
No. I don't even have a Klarna account. I'd only
Okay.
use the
Yeah.
Chase Pay for
Same.
if
Okay.
anything.
Got it.
But it'd probably be Klarna, and then I guess still PayPal,
Still
probably,
PayPal.
because like it's still very useful. Like you guys said, it has
Guy
all your
hasn't
credit
used
cards
PayPal
and
in
everything.
7 years, and he's like the top fintech
It's because I
PayPal.
use GPay instead.
Okay, well then let's round it out talking about Litecoin. The founder saying, "Well, you probably should have just held Bitcoin instead." Oops, boy, pulled a oopsie fucking boingo to quote Yell. Right? Am I quoting you correctly there?
Yes. I said that every day.
Yeah. So like we didn't need to talk about it bag on Litecoin or whatever, but
Mhm.
like I want to like zoom out and say, okay, are we observing kind of like a contraction in crypto? We've all been at Mu for a number of years, and like we remember when there were like every other day, it's like here's a new L2, here's a new layer
Mhm.
1, here's a new layer 0, here's a new layer -5 tokens and tokens and tokens. And now, do we think that we're kind of like seeing the urban sprawl kind of coming back to just like the central fundamentals of crypto? What are your guys' observations? Marcus, kick us
um,
off.
yeah, from my
Mhm.
understanding is that Litecoin has always been like it's been a source code fork from Bitcoin, right? So it's like
Mhm.
my understanding was that it's always supposed to be like the transactional layer to like if you wanted to spend Bitcoin but like cheaper, like
Yep.
you would use Litecoin rather than Bitcoin because you want to save as much Bitcoin, but you want to send like maybe somebody some money really fast. This is before Ethereum and all these other layer 2s and stuff. So this
Yeah.
is like the fastest network around. So it's always supposed to be like the silver to Bitcoin's gold. That's what I always thought of it
Mhm.
as.
Okay. What about you, Yo?
I don't think we're at the contraction point. I
Mhm.
think we've already been there because there's this thing that Kasala always mentioned that year to year you'll see what actually stays. There's always going to be new things, right? But like in the next 5 years, you always see what stays, right? So Ethereum, Bitcoin is still there. And both started and like so many options popped up, but these two are still there and always being chosen over and over and over. And I think, the moment that that's happened, like I think like 10 years ago or something, it was already at that point where these two are going to be the pillars. And there's always going to be something that tries to improve upon these two, but people are stubborn. So they're always going to stay on these two.
Yeah, it's true. People are stubborn. And that's
Yeah.
But it is
why
interesting though. I kind of found it where I don't know what the question was, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
what his answer was, but it was just as an engineer, it's kind of, it pains me a little bit to be like, oh, don't even bother with what you made. Like just, screw that or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, you built that. You took care of that for like so long. Like, you went
And
through
I
all of it already.
and I also, for one, cannot imagine, like, being the face of a blockchain, right? Like, Vitalik's got a lot of scrutiny and a lot of shit on his
Oh yeah.
shoulders, and same thing with the Litecoin founder. Like,
Hmm.
they're like those two are synonymous. I don't know who started Solana, and I think that's probably on purpose, right?
Yeah.
To kind of separate out this personality from this blockchain so that
Hmm.
people can live their lives and make mistakes. But I know Marcus wants to be the face of a blockchain.
Build your
Unstable
own.
coin after this.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, as he said, just hold Bitcoin. You don't need to do all that. Just hold
Yeah.
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that statements like that don't like hamper innovation. And I don't think they will. I'm sure the
Hmm.
next generation of blockchain developers that are coming online right now are like, what's Litecoin? I've never even heard of that. But
You guys
it's
remember
always
Dot? Like,
interesting.
what's
Go ahead, yo. Sorry.
you guys remember Dot? Like, let's go. Polka Dot.
Exactly. I think it's always going to be fascinating. Like what's interesting and new, kind of alluding to what you said, yo. Things that are new are going to be interesting, and then they will go back to kind of the fundamentals, the things that are tried and
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And I wonder and hope that we see like what made these things new and sexy then gets folded back into the core part of crypto. And I do think we're seeing that. Like obviously Ethereum
Yeah.
used to be expensive and slow, and now it's faster and cheap.
Hmm.
And I think that's kind of made it worse, but it's definitely made it better. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a perspective
Yeah.
thing of like where
Yeah.
you're looking into it. Right?
Yeah. But you know what, gentlemen? That brings us to the end of the show. So I just wanted to thank you both for joining me, and thank you, dear listener, for joining us this week for Cryptocurrents. We'll be here next week. We hope you feel smarter because you should feel. Thank you, gentlemen, and I'll talk to you later.
So yeah.
Bye.
So yeah.